All right, we have our next guest up, and I do want to say, and I do just want to, and it's not going to affect the nature of this interview, I do want to say I admire our next guest for being an elected representative, being involved in controversy, and being prepared at very short notice to front and talk with us about that issue. So I want a bit of warm welcome to the Mayor of Hastings District Council, Sandra Hazlehurst, who joins us by phone now. Your Worship, welcome to the program.
Good morning, good morning.
All right. Would it be fair to say you're getting a bit of, interest in this decision yesterday?
Yes, we had huge interest, and what a fantastic afternoon it was. It was an hour and a half of really solid debate.
Yeah.
We had
representatives... Sandra, before you get too enthused, I just want to start this interview by getting, if you like, some common ground. Could you describe to me what you think democracy is?
Well, democracy is making sure that everybody has the opportunity to share their views and to be represented, who has an influence and interest in bringing about change in many of our challenging areas within local government. And
democracy, do you think democracy involves voting and universal enfranchisement and people who represent people being voted for?
Yes, well, we have democracy within all of our standing committees now. So we have representatives from iwi Māori that sit on our standing committees. We have representatives.
And who's voted for them, Sandra?
They are appointed by
voted. They're spelt different. Appointed starts with an A. Voted starts with a V.
So we have. Let me just be clear. We have 15 elected representatives. We also have the opportunity within the Act to appoint people with specialist expertise, specialist interest that sit alongside us in our standing committee.
But they're not representatives, are they, Sandra? They're appointed advisors.
They are appointed and represent.
Well, how do you know if they're representative if there hasn't been a vote, Sandra?
They are representatives because we have a youth council of 20 members now.
And how do you become a youth councillor, Sandra? Are you elected?
You're elected.
Who by?
You're elected by your peers.
But and where? Can you run me through that process, please?
So they apply for the position, and
who do they apply to? No, Sandra, who do they apply to become a youth?
They apply to the council. So every year we go out for
to council bureaucrats or councillors, elected councillors,
council staff, and to council laws.
And do they apply through their schools, process. Or can they apply as in? So only people at certain schools can become youth.
No, and also because we take up to 24-year-olds, so individuals. Youth individuals also.
Okay, so you apply and is there then a vote?
Yes.
Who votes?
Because this time we had about 42 people that wanted to be a youth councillor and we only take 20.
So how did you decide?
So they're then voted by their succession planning, so there's people that come from...
Now, who votes in the elections for the youth councillors, Sandra?
The youth councillors. So
they vote for themselves?
Yep.
So they don't get appointed by a democratic process? They just get picked by the council staff and themselves?
That's right.
Yeah,
yes.
So that's not really, Sandra, let's be honest, that's not really democracy, is it?
Look, let me be clear to you. This is...
Well, I'm trying to get you to be clear to me and to everyone else who pays their rates in the Hastings district.
Can I just give you an overview of governments and local government? We have dynamic youth voices that need to be heard. They challenge democracy. They challenge the way.
So you're challenging democracy now or encouraging it, Sandra?
Encouraging it and challenging it. We've got some massive issues like climate change. They're all over the environment. They are really.
I think you've got some massive issues like fascism and the abandonment of democracy.
No, well, I'm not going to accept that, and I'll end the interview now.
No, Sandra, don't come on. Stay and box your corner.
No, you need
Stay
to be...
and box your corner. You're an elected representative. You have a job to do. You're paid by the ratepayers.
We have one person, one young people. They are already sitting on our standing committees and our joint committees, but they don't have a vote. So they're already there. And they are there. They have been working hard amongst our council, and this has been going on for the last 8 years.
Sandra, are you aware of the convention that when you have a casting vote in an issue and there is uncertainty, that it is protocol to vote for the status quo? You there, Sandra?
Yes, I am here.
Are you aware of that convention?
I have the casting vote, and I vote which way the mayor wishes to vote. I've done it twice.
Why didn't you go to the ratepayers and the electors of the Hastings district on what is such a fundamental issue about representation and voting on council committees? Why didn't you have faith in the people of your district?
Because under the Local Government Act, we can appoint any independent expertise or specialist to sit on a committee. And that is what has been happening now with the Youth Council.
So you really aren't that into democracy, Sandra, are you?
I'm interested in getting a future for New Zealand, a future for Heretaunga Hastings that has good representatives, that has young people with their dynamic voices. Democracy is quite a good way of
delivering that. Voting, interested people voting is quite a good way to do that, Sandra.
Absolutely. And so what will happen... I don't need to. I'm not going to talk about what I'm into and what I'm into. I'm telling you the reasons why I voted to have a young person been able to express their views and vote on an issue that they are passionate about, and because they are the ones that we hope to sit at the table in the future. And they are learning from the elected members, and they have the opportunity to develop and grow a strength in politics, and I've seen some of our previous youth council chairs and deputy chairs, and that's who these people will be, go on to do amazing things in leadership and politics, and that's what I hope for our people that we will have on these committees. They are already coming to the committees. They're already working hard. They come and learn in the workshops. The only thing that is different here is that they have been given the chance to have a vote on an item. They don't come to council meetings. There's full council with elected members. I'm talking about subcommittees like social development, district development, civic development. They come to those. They come to standing committees, which is policy and
Why don't
strategy.
you have the confidence to put such a great idea to the ratepayers of your district, if it's such a good idea?